Step 6, your registration plan. All right, this is very important. This is your first impression. Are you organized? Is this going to be a successful event? There's many different plans that you can follow here. So you need to determine what information you need to obtain during registration: name, address, gender, birth date, age, height, weight, information about the parents. I know when my son went through youth registration for soccer, they actually did an assessment so that they could safely put children with similar skill sets against each other. Again, that was for safety and enjoyable competition as well. Sizes for the fitting of equipment, maybe t-shirts, uniforms, things of that nature. Determine the registration period, when it begins and when it ends. Do you need a long duration? Do you need one day? Do you just need that morning? Are you going to have registration online? These are all things that you need to hash out during this 6th step. Determine the registration process that you're going to follow. Are you going to have multiple lines coming up at one location? Again, are you going to have the process online? If so, you need to either way prepare appropriate forms as well as website links, and that's what you see a lot of these larger organizations go into. But again, your event may not be to that magnitude, and it may be a walk-up registration type approach. All right, step 7, scheduling plans. This does not concern the dates of the event, but involves scheduling the practices and contests for the participants. If the facilities are at a premium, which they often are, this is a system. This is not an easy thing to do. So you need to determine, what facilities are available and compute the maximum number of practices and games that can be held at these facilities to see if these facilities will work with your event. Determine the day, time of day to schedule. So what are prime times that you need, but then also what is the facility's availability. Compute actual number of practices and contests that will be played. Again, you're trying to match up your needs with the facility's demand and their availability. Determine the need to schedule practice times, again, because of the facility's demand. And then you're going to prepare a schedule. When you're preparing the schedule, you need to consider these factors. The facility's availability, how long each contest is going to last, the maximum number of contests that can be held within these facilities, the actual number of contests to be played for this event, how much rest is required between the contests, so if you're doing a weekend tournament, and then determine a method to make the competition as equal as possible. So, for example, you may need seed players or teams in tournaments. You may need to use a handicap system, such as in golf or bowling. You may need to create classes based on ability and assessments that you've done. So there's a lot that goes into preparing this schedule. And then you need to print and distribute this schedule. Make sure that you're communicating the schedule. All right, we're about to get at step 8, facility planning. Here you're going to determine your facility needs. Reserve the facility. Determine who's going to supervise the facility. Is this a park and rec type setup where you're given the keys to the gym or the keys to the fields, things of that nature? Or is this a situation where you're kind of renting the facility and they will have someone on site anytime the facility is open? These are things that you need to determine at this stage. Arrange for access to the facility. Make sure if someone is going to be there to supervise that they know your schedule and that they are there and have the facility open and ready for you. If not, you need to arrange to have keys for the duration of this event. Prepare the facility prior to the event. Tear down the facility after the event. Arrange for maintenance of the facility. You want to make sure you have a plan in place in case something goes wrong with scoreboards or lighting, a leak, anything. And everything will happen and can happen. So make sure you have a plan in place. Arrange for security, as well as adequate parking when applicable. Step 9, here you're looking at equipment, uniforms, and supplies. planning, what inventory is available. Has this event been done in the past? Are there already resources available to you? Determine the needs for this event. And then purchase what's needed. After you purchase what's needed, if it's not something you're giving away, something that participants have themselves purchased, such as uniforms, inventory the new purchases. Distribute equipment, uniform, supplies, whether it be to players, coaches, or other personnel, and plan for storage and security of the supplies. And then make sure after the event is complete and before the event that you're inspecting and maintaining your equipment as well. All right. And then the last step in the planning process, awards and recognition. This is very important. Everybody wants to be, everyone wants to be recognized. We all like to be recognized for our accomplishments. So this is something you don't want to skip out on. What awards are you going to be giving out? Is this for young players? Does everybody get an award just for participating? Or, do you have first, second, third, so on? Do you have a male division? Do you have female division? Do you have age? Do you break it up by age? Determine what type of award you're going to do. Maybe an award necklace. Are you going to do a trophy? Are you going to do a certificate? You have to purchase these awards, plan for storage of these awards, and then how are you going to display these awards during the contest or immediately following the contest? Plan for the presentation of the awards, who's going to present, because this is something you don't want it to take all evening. People have given their weekend, they've given months, they've given a full day, so you have to plan for the presentation. And then you want to recognize those who have helped with the event. You have certainly delegated along the way, and at this point you want to step in and recognize those who have helped make this event a success. All right, so those are the basic 10 steps that you will need to be aware of and understand, and now you're on your way to the planning of a successful event. But you need to make sure as the event planner that you're paying attention to detail. All right, delegate when you need to delegate. You can't do it all. In order to do that, you're going to have possibly paid staff. Most likely, you're going to have to surround yourself with volunteers. Make sure that you've trained these personnel. Who are you going to hire? Make sure that you have the right people, dedicated, devoted individuals that can help to make this event a success.